Franny, we're in the middle of that right now. This is the perfect example. So I started the largest progressive network. I've given dozens of progressives opportunities they didn't have before. I started Just Democrats, et cetera, et cetera. The minute I disagree like 5% on trans issues or crime, everybody's like right wing, fascist, right wing,
That's
right
not
wing. Almost every show is saying that. Almost every show. So you telling me that you don't push people out? You're pushing out the movement overall. At least the online left movement seems to be trying to push out the one network that has helped progressives more than any other network, and it's not in dispute. But my God, we have 5% disagreement. So tear it down, tear it down. This is the destructive extreme left that I honestly, that portion, that kind of destructive attitude is poison. It's not just poison to us, it's poison to our chances of winning, because we keep pushing people out, we keep pushing people out, and then all of a sudden we lost all the swing states and we lost the popular vote. I'm trying to get our side to wake up, snap out of our hypnosis of we hate, and we hate the right wing, and they're all white supremacists, and they're all racist, and they're all sexist, and we hate, and we never go in the room with them, we hate. What the hell happened to us? And no one's allowed to disagree. We're now authoritarian. No.
Wait,
I
Cenk,
rebel.
can I just clarify? You had to make it's because they think that you're.
The version of the left says, no way, we never talk to the other side. But we're not authoritarian.
Cenk, that's not true.
We're not authoritarian. You're not allowed to disagree 1%, but we're not authoritarian. We have no power, so we're not authoritarian. So that's not how it works, Franny.
So as you saw from the intro, I wanted to talk about this discussion that Francesca, I think that's her name, with Cenk Uygur. I always mess up his last name. Forgive me for that. And they start talking about strategy, how to approach the culture. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the outcomes, and this is one thing I always point out from the left, and why I think many conservatives are agreeing with Cenk on this specific issue. On the issue with the left is the left don't know how to talk to non-leftists. That's y'all biggest problem. Look at the outcomes. Y'all lost the popular vote for a reason, because y'all don't know how to communicate to people who don't already see things your way. Cenk's like, yo, let's have open dialogue. Let's make it normal where the left and the right communicate with each other and not be siloed in our little echo chambers and not communicating with each other. And when people try to communicate, like I try to communicate with people who disagree with how I saw the Tim Pool debate with Luke Beasley. I just got insulted. I got called ignorant. These people keep trying to mock me in the comment section, and I'm like, yo, I don't care what you think about me. I just want to know what you basing your beliefs on. They don't want to have a genuine conversation. I think this is the point that Cenk was trying to get at, but I digress.
We'll never allow the left to be authoritarian, and this idea of just hating the other side is poison.
You know what's so funny about you calling the left authoritarian is that you think the left has power. Like, I love that you think
total nonsense.
We are on the precipice of real authoritarianism and real fascism, and you believe that the online left are the authoritarians. I mean, I don't know how to tell you. You sound like Bill Maher and Nancy Pelosi had a kid.
So I want to push back on this idea that just because you perceive that you don't have any power, that you're not authoritarian, right? Because there's a authoritative parenting, right? And what he's talking about is where you do have control, where you do have influence, you operate in that way, right? Let's talk about cancel culture. Cancel culture is something that I highlight a lot on this channel about how the left, when they have control over something, how they act in an authoritarian manner, right? The Google engineer, there was a Google engineer that pointed out why women tend to make less money than men, and he attributed to decisions and behaviors that women do in the workforce. Less likely to negotiate their salaries, less likely to be in engineering, right? The Google engineer listed all that, and he got fired from Google because a lot of leftists, and if you look at Google, almost 94% of Google, the employees of Google, donated to the Democratic Party. So where you do have ideological dominance, you tend to exact in a very authoritarian way. And this is what I agree with Cenk on. And Cenk is trying to get them to realize that, hey, you guys are almost excluding yourself from the conversation. Because it's that meme long ago that people posted on X is how, hey, a liberal used to be closer to the center, and nowadays y'all kept going so left that a liberal is not considered right wing. You guys did that.
And it came out, Cenk Uygur. And let me just ask you though.
Nonsense.
Let me just ask you. So what shows on the left do you like that aren't on the TYT network?
Yeah, so I said, look, there's a lot of good popular shows on the left that I like, and it's because there are. So Breaking Point's a good show. Kyle Kalinski's Secular Talk is a good show. He was against me going on MAGA. I haven't seen his video, but Kyle's been against us a couple of times. But I largely didn't hold a grudge on that.
But even wait, let me just stop you. Let me just stop you. First of all, you had a great conversation with Crystal Ball. I think she made some really good points to you on. I think it was on Breaking Points. Kyle has I think been very disturbed, especially by your appearance with Charlie Kirk. But what you just said there, they've been against us. I really want to just dig into this idea that, because you're a fighter, man. That's cool. That's great. But like, you really do have a very I almost want to call it Bush-like, Cheney-like, you're with us or against us attitude.
The left pushed this "you're with us or against us" attitude. Like, for instance, Lindy Lee. Remember Lindy Lee? I covered her a lot. Francesca was on a panel with Lindy Lee when Lindy Lee was pointing out all the, hey, y'all wasted $1.4 billion of donor money. Donors are mad that you are $20 million in debt. Where did all the money go? When she was laying criticism into the Democratic Party, Francesca here went after her and said, oh, why are you changing your brand? Right? And this is what Cenk is talking about, that you can't highlight any type of criticism towards the left. The left pretend that they're perfect. Let me ask the leftists in the comment section, if you happen to be watching this video, are you perfect? Is Democrat a perfect party? Are you a perfect movement? Yes or no? Because only way you can defend like this and try to label someone who's used to be part of your side, or you think they was on your side, and because they're pointing out certain things against you, now all of a sudden, oh, you're Bush-like. You're trying to categorize him as if he's part of the right. No, he's not. He's not part of the right. He's just someone that he's been doing what conservatives and Republicans are used to doing on our own side, policing our own. And he's doing the same thing to you guys now. He's policing his own side. Hey, leftists, we need to get in shape. We need to shape up, right? When you're on a sports team, you look at your teammates and you say, we need to fix this. This is what Cenk is trying to do. But y'all don't want to listen because it's like, oh, bro, we don't want to look disorganized. We don't want to look fragmented. We don't want to look divided. We want to look united. And this is what we're talking about. This is what conservatives are talking about. Y'all may like to talk about the drama that happens on the right, where we're debating about media, we're debating about the H1B1, and y'all like to highlight that and say, look how divisive the right is. Look how unorganized they are. But that's democracy. That's how you actually have conversations in a fruitful manner. You find things that you disagree on and you try to find compromise there. And it seems like the left, they have this attitude of my way or the highway. And this is how this interview from a non-leftist, from a non-Democrat, is coming across to me. This feels more like a struggle session. Hey, Cenk, you have to conform to what the left want you to be. And this is the problem with collectivist thinking. But I digress. Let's continue with the video.
100% wrong.
Like you just literally, I love that you're proving my point. But
No,
when
I'm not.
I
You're
say
proving
this,
my
'cause
point.
you
Okay,
truly
so let me explain.
you sound like people are either against you, but if they
No.
criticize you, they are not. And yet here you are, Cenk, telling the entire right wing that all you want to do is break bread with them, that you want to debate with them, but afterward you want to go have a beer.
Yes, I do.
You
Yes.
want to have
All
a
you
beer
wanna
with
do is
people
hate
who
them.
want
How does that work
to
out for us, Franny?
who
How
want
does
to
the
put
hate
people
work out
in
for us?
mass deportation camps. They want to deport.
You
They're starting
think
with
we're going to get put in camps? You sound all right. Anyway,
You think I sound crazy? They're starting with Chinese people. That's my fucking family, dog. Like, what are you
Franny,
talking about?
That's such an excuse. Okay,
What
they're going to
what
start
is
with
an
Muslims.
excuse?
They're going to
What
start
is
with
ex-
my people. Okay,
Sure,
if they
sure,
start
sure.
at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just stop hiding behind vulnerable communities.
I'm hiding.
Yes, I agree. As I don't use this often, but as a man descendant from black immigrants, I hate when the left did that. So that's one of the biggest things that pushed me off of the left wing kind of argument about things. They try to hide behind, they try to use vulnerable people like pawns to get some moral high ground argument. And that's one thing I hate about the left. I don't like about the left. They love to virtue signal off this moral thing. And I just see it as, no, this is just a political thing you're doing. This is just a political tactic you're using. And then this is why conservatives always come across almost heartless sometimes, because we realize, yo, you're trying to emotionally manipulate here. And this is exactly what we're talking about. A lot of people, like when you see the stories of black conservatives and how they end up becoming black conservatives, the emotional manipulation was the biggest point that woke up a lot of black people to the buffoonery of the Democratic Party, of leftists, is that they try to damn near gaslight you into walking in lockstep. And Obama warned about this in 2008 to 2012. I don't remember exactly when he warned the left about this, but he called it the circular firing squad. And these people still ain't listening. You lost a popular vote. You got swept in all 7 swing states. You didn't even win one. Cal Kalinske, Secular Talk, the one that Cenk brung up, dead wrong on all his predictions. He said, "Oh, I see Kamala winning Iowa. I see her winning Iowa," and he was dead wrong because he chose to believe one poll and he chose to dismiss another poll because it was right wing. And you're doing the same thing again right now in this conversation.
Behind vulnerable
Yes,
communities.
you are. You're using
I'm
them as human
standing in
shields.
front of vulnerable communities.
No,
James,
you're
what
not.
are you doing? What
No,
are you doing?
I'm in front of vulnerable communities.
Uh-huh.
I'm the most endangered, Franny.
By tweeting at Elon Musk? Please
whatever.
don't help me. Come
Okay,
on,
so this
James. This
is
is so
total BS.
sad. That's
Okay,
so
so
sad.
let's break
Well, let's take it down. Let's
get
simmer
back
down.
under
No.
control.
No. You see, and this is my problem. They escalate the thing. Like this is the problem with the left. The left like to hit while they're crying. Like they're cry bullies. They'll hit you, and then when they see you about to respond, they're on the floor acting like, "Oh, sorry, no, don't do it." Don't. Now you want to simmer down. You escalate the conversation. Now you want to simmer down. And this is the problem. You'll come in, you badmouth people, you'll mock people, you insult people, and the moment the person insults you back, you want to act like they just said something about your mom. This is how the left always portrays, and this tactic here, and it kind of like seeing 2 leftists debate it out. It's always interesting where they go to. One's trying to one up the other. Oh no, I'm standing in front of vulnerable people. Look, y'all standing for yourselves. That's all I'm saying. I'm just me when I advocate. I don't try to do all this moralizing stuff. I just go, okay, if you're saying you're standing for this, why is the policy outcomes that you advocate for actually is against this? You want to stand up for vulnerable people. How is it that giving them preferential treatment with DEI and all this affirmative action is actually helping them, when I can make the argument that a lot of these DEI programs set up a lot of black people to fail, a lot of black students to fail because of mismatch theory, that you would have been more qualified for a lower tier school, but because you got accepted to an Ivy League school, you're more prone to be a college dropout in an Ivy League school where you would have graduated valedictorian in a state school. Why is that? But you're pushing for affirmative action, you're pushing for DEI, but the outcomes don't match what you say it does. After DEI, black students' dropout rates increased after DEI was introduced in the 1960s. So how can you say that DEI is the actual approach that will help vulnerable people actually make it ahead? When black conservatives are saying, no, politically you can't fix this. This is a cultural issue. Education at home is a cultural issue. By the time they make it to university, the damage has already been done. Black students read at a below average compared to other races of students. Why is that? I say because of behavior. These people will say because of racism or because of politics. No, culture. And it's like the left don't want to understand that there's a difference of approach between the right and the left. And because I believe there's a different way of doing something doesn't make me evil, doesn't mean I hate vulnerable people. It means I have a different view of how to solve the problems that's affecting our society. And this is what Cenk is trying to get her to understand. But she's trying to make it all emotional. She's trying to keep this narrative like, oh, these are bad people. You saw in the comment section, Charlie Kirk believed that I'm less qualified because of my skin color. No, you're imagining that. You're casting that. You're making an assumption about Kirk's stance because he said something that sounds vaguely something that you think is racist. When what Charlie Kirk was saying is DI is racism. And since a black pilot benefits from DEI, it makes me question his qualifications because I know he is the preferred race in the DEI framework that's currently being pushed in corporate America. This was Charlie Kirk's argument, but no, you want to interpret the way you want to interpret it, so that way you can push a framing, you can push a narrative, you can push a perception. And this is the problem with the left. The left wants to debate based on perception, not based on objective truths or reality.
Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you real honest to God.
You already said 12 things that I need to respond to. Can I respond to them?
No, I want to ask you this one
No, of
question.
course not.
Let's talk about you going on these shows. Just simmer down. Let me ask you one question. Imagine if Harris had won. Okay, she wins. She wins the popular vote. She wins obviously the electoral college. Incredible, first female president, blah, 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 all this stuff. And Tucker Carlson started making all these rounds on like really like progressive leftist shows, went on Kyle's show, went on my show. I'm like, who the hell? Started.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem with her whole example. She will never let Tucker Carlson sit in her show. That's the difference between the left and the right. This is what makes the left more authoritarian. When they have power, like I said in the beginning of this video, when they have power, they're authoritarian, right? It's because they don't have power and they seen Cenk doing all these rounds. Whether Kamala won or lost, it wouldn't matter. If Cenk decided to do the same thing, it would still have been possible because we're open to invite people. We're open to conversation with someone on the other side so we can learn and pick their brain and see, okay, what's the reality here? What's the reality here? But for you, if that happened, if you guys won the popular vote, you won all 7 swing states, you would still deny any right-winger from actually sitting on the table in your platforms.
And wanting to talk and wanting to come to agreement on things. What would that look like to you?
Yeah, it would look like Tucker was trying to reach out. Tucker's a bad example because I would be surprised if he did that. But okay, yeah, no problem.
What would it look like to you?
I wouldn't. What I don't. And do I think that Tucker would be selling out? No, there's no chance.
No. Well, I'm not. It's not about selling out. What would that like? What would it just seem like? Hey, man, we can agree. Yeah, you know what? I did say that Kamala Harris was a DEI hire and she's basically a communist, but now I just feel like I've antagonized you and I'm here to like break bread and let's talk and let's get stuff done. What would that look like to you?
It would look surprising, but I wouldn't care. I'd find it interesting. Why? What does it look like to you?
I mean, to me, if Tucker Carlson did that, I'd be like, oh, we fucking won. We won like crazy. We won so resoundingly. He's doing
So you're admitting that's what's happening now. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is the tribalism that I'm talking about. It's just tribal politics. It don't matter what happens in reality. It don't matter if the sentiment of the American people say, hey, we trust this approach more than your approach. It don't matter what the Americans don't matter. The American people, it don't matter. It's all about the ideologues. The ideologues only care about, oh, we had to do things our way. And this is where it comes across. You see how she interpreted the whole event? This is craziness. That's all she care about. The optics. This is why I said the leftists, y'all don't argue on truth. Y'all only argue on perception. Y'all only argue on narrative.
Because 3 ghosts visited him in the middle of the night and he's completely changed his tune because he wants to throw down with the winners. We are crushing it. And I saw in that moment, you want me to play it for you? When Charlie Kirk goes, we're glad Cenk's here, everybody. And that was the feeling that I think a lot of right-wingers have when they look at you, Cenk, where they're like, damn, yo, we crushed so hard. Even this guy is turning now.
I can see that. Honestly, I can see that. But like I said, humans suck at judging people's intentions. I don't think that was the intent. I think the intent was, hey, this is what it took to get a leftist to come on to come and actually talk with us. Like we had to win for you to. It's like back then they didn't want me, but now I'm hot. They all on me, right? So conservatives were trying to talk about these issues before November 5th. Conservatives like, yo, this is an issue. This is an issue. This is an issue. What leftists was saying. Deny. The border's not an issue. Inflation's not an issue. Inflation is transitory. Y'all saying all this stuff. Oh, Kamala could win Iowa. after November 5th. Oh, now y'all willing to listen to us. Now y'all willing to hear us out because the results speak for itself. Most of Americans saw it the same way Trump, MAGA, conservatives saw it.
Yeah, except I'm not turning. I've said it 2,000 times.
I'm just saying what it would look like. I'm just saying what it would look.
You keep saying it like it's true when it isn't remotely true. But okay, let me address it. So, okay, number one, you're empirically wrong because guess what's happening? Matt Gaetz has reached out to us, Tucker Carlson, to come on our shows. And so it's your exact analogy, okay? Patrick Bet-David, et cetera, and they won. They're still trying to come on the Young Turks. Why? Because they're trying to have a conversation, not because they want to do an apology tour. They think they are ascendant, but nevertheless, they want to talk to the left.
But you had to make it's because they think that
your version of the left says, no way, we never talk to the other side. But we're not authoritarian.
Exactly. And this is exactly what I was talking about. It's exactly, I don't know why I paused it there, but that's exactly what we're talking about. If win or lose, the right will still want to platform the left, still want to talk to the left, still want to interact with the left because we don't want to be, we understand we have blind spots. The left pretends they don't have any blind spots.
That's not true.
You're not allowed to disagree 1%, but we're not authoritarian. We have no power, so we're not authoritarian. So that's not how it works, Franny. And the establishment Democrats are also authoritarian. So what do they say? You must agree with Kamala Harris, otherwise that's it. You're a heretic and you're being driven out from the party. You know that. The establishment Democrats have done that to us for the last 20 years. Don't tell me that there's no power on the left. There's tons of power on the left. And when the swarm comes, the left-wing swarm, you'd like to be called a woman. You racist, fascist, transphobe. What? I'm not authoritarian. No, that is an authoritarian mindset. Just you don't have to have power to have an authoritarian mindset. And there's different versions of power. There's the shunning power. There's social media power. There's
the power, like Democrat, and I'm gonna end it off here. Democratic women are the least open-minded people in the political landscape, right? Democrat women, I think they're 2 times more likely to block, disassociate with people who have different political views than themselves. This is Democratic women. So this idea that you guys don't practice authoritarianism, you do, right? You do. You're allowed to do whatever you freedom of association. Now, hey, that's fine. But then don't get mad when you lose the popular vote in 7 swing states, and then you hear blaming, the rights all they do is lie. No, we don't lie. We just have a different view of how things should be. And American people agreed with us because you don't know how to talk to people who are not leftists. That's the number one issue. That was the number one critique I had on my videos about Kamala Harris. If you followed my channel throughout the debates, throughout the conversations about why the hell I was against Kamala, I was on the panel for Blacks Against Harris, and I pointed out it's like the policies, her supporters are the biggest reason why Kamala lost. Because you said anything bad about Kamala, you're a sexist, racist. That was what y'all was saying. And you don't want to give any credence to what Cenk is trying to say. Bro, hey, look, don't save them. They don't want to be saved. That's the reality of the left. Y'all $20 million in debt and no accountability, no reflection. You don't think you need to change anything? That's arrogance. That's ignorance. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with Francesca, her framing of events? Do you agree with Cenk? And if you're more in the middle, do you think Cenk's approach is more effective strategy for the leftists to get more, influence back with middle America? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.